Hello and welcome to MMS Formula 3 Round 2 now at the Spanish Grand Prix Circuit Barcelona. Last race won by Henry J. Brown in Bahrain wasn't so eventful. Let's see if this one will be. And I mean, we are already in for a banger as it is a rainy race. So there's a lot to unpack here. So we have Jack Crawford on pole position for the High-Tech Grand Prix team. Joining him on the first of the grid is Johnny Edgar for MP Motorsport. And the rest of the grid we have Koye, Hauger, Petakov, Keefe, Peroni, Das, Shabo Miller, Simons, Rakus, Vesti, Zage, Fittipaldi, Leclerc, Franke, Comedipol, Duhan, Musqua, Rasmussen, Schumacher, Stella, Anderson, Henry J. Brown, Edwards, Caldwell, Scheffer, Tovik, Nisbet, and Flynn, who rounds off the grid. Let's go for a banger in the rain. The lights are coming on, 10 red lights. And we're green in Barcelona. It's a good start from Crawford, who pulls away immediately into the lead. Not the best start from Edgar. He's now side by side with Koye, I believe. Not yet, but Koye seems to be sending it into turn 1. The Premier driver, Premier overall as a team yet to show themselves truly in this championship. Koye goes for a double overtake though, and he is up into P1. Not yet. He's side by side of the race leader though, into turn 3, and he gets the move done. So wow, a double overtake in the rain. The Brazilian makes it work, and I can see Gianluca Petakov, another Brazilian driver here, trying to shine his way into Formula 1 as well. Let's see, he sends it. It's not going to work though. He has to be wary of Hauger, blocks Hauger. John Keefe now side by side with the Norwegian. The Norwegian though sends it on to Petakov, and the Red Bull driver has to yield his position as death has ensued. Crawford and Edgar, these two have fought for, I believe, the British F3 and or either F4 titles in 2020 very thoroughly, so these two have some history between each other. Das now pushed a bit wide by Shabo Miller, who moves up into 8th, as he's now side by side of Peroni. And look at the spray, you can barely see two cars in front. So Das is going for a reckless move. Peroni sends it. Oh, and those are some cars off track. That's Miller who went off track. That's not good. On his outside, that's Comedipol. Vesti overtakes Comedipol, though, uses the fact that he was on the outside line, sends it on to Shabo Miller in good measure too. And here we go, the chicane, which in the rain. Yep, there you go. That's mistakes done there. Who is that spun? I think that's Fittipaldi. Yes, it is. What happened here? It was on the outside. He tries to leave room. The car just aquaplanes. He goes into the side pole of Das, and well, that's his race gone. I have no shame. Right, to the top of the field, it's Koye followed by Crawford. As now we can see Gianluca Petakov making a move on Hauger. And Hauger is now down into 5th. Crawford to the outside of Koye. That's a mad move, and here he is on the wet line. Jack Crawford finding some insane grip there. And he's off into the lead. It's already 1.2 seconds, so Crawford for the win, I guess. Koye seems to be very slow though. Edgar just passes him as well. So something's wrong with that Prema. Cameron Das now on the outside of Rakus. Rakus does not, but overtakes Hauger in the meantime. So good job from him. That still sends it on to him though, still side by side. The HWA driver is not going to have it easy here. But he keeps his position, so good on him. Edgar is now tracking down his ex-championship rival, so the history between the two shall continue. Koye, Petakov, Peroni, Keefe, Rakus, Das and Fraga. That's your battle for P3 pretty much. Look at the spray. You can't see anything in that. Miller overtakes Hauger for P10. Oh, that's Hauger gone. That's now, who was that? That's Comedipol riding the rear wheel of Hauger. That's not the safest thing to do. He goes round the outside of two cars. Look, the outside line is so powerful around that corner. And Duan also ran the outside of Shabo Miller. That's some beautiful racing right there. And that's Leclerc to the inside of Olivia Zacher. Olivia Zacher ready with a penalty, and she she will keep her record. Rasmussen pushed off second. Fittipaldi visits that runoff area once more. As no incidents yet, no retirements, clean racing. You'd love to see it. Peroni to the inside of Fraga, who moved up significantly on the span of this lap. Oh, contact! Peroni nearly sends Fraga spinning. That's a bit dirty. As now look at that's Cameron Das out of nowhere, rarely outside of the Brazilian. That doesn't work though. But Carlin, seemingly serious championship contenders now. They are 7 points behind the team's championship leaders, Yenza Motorsport. So who knows, they might actually put themselves back together. As now Petekov to the inside of Collier. No. Rakus has got up to Edgar, so the Finnish driver is going for some serious points here. Into the S is very slow. Edgar seems to be struggling now. Look at Akoya and Petekov immediately catch up. Now we have another train forming. We have Petekov, Fraga, and we have Last Comedy Poor and Keith, followed by Hauger, Peroni, and Duan. But those guys are all outside points. 10 minutes to go. Petekov sends it on to Rakus. Rakus goes very wide. Nearly aquaplanes off the circuit side by side of Koya, and he's lost those positions. Not good for him. That's round the outside of Fraga. Rakus uses the outside line to catch himself back up to Petekov, but it doesn't work as he gets slowed down by him, and that invites Fraga to his inside. And Keith, out of nowhere, John Keith makes the move, but Keith on the outside line. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it is Keith on the outside line. He hits Rakus, and that's Keith round. And that is the front wing of Hauger off. And Keith, oh, there you go. Keith has taken Turvek, and Caldwell out. Ah, John Keith. That is immediately under investigation. He just turns in. As much as, you know, the first crash, right? The first crash with Hauger wasn't really avoidable. I mean, man was spinning. Then the next ones, right? Okay, no, Turvik just came balls in. I do not blame Keith for that. Turvik just comes balls in. There was nothing Keith could have done to slow down, as, you know, Turvik doesn't even attempt to slow down. But this onto Caldwell, though, is not acceptable. Turvik just yeets right in. That is just... The FIA have already started the investigation. Koya now catching up to Crawford. The Brazilians seem to reign supreme in this series. So it is confirmed 10 seconds for John Keith. I wonder if Turvik will get investigated. I doubt that though. Let's see Koya chasing down Crawford inch by inch. He's about to make a move onto the race leader. As on the radio, John Keith cries out in anger and anguish. Rakus down to 5th, chasing down Fraga. Petekov calmly in 3rd. Collier right on the back of Jack Crawford. Will he overtake the American? I don't think he will now. No, he doesn't. He's following him closely behind, though. In the spray, he can't really see anything. Which is, well, not good. Into the hairpin, no moves being made, although he's clearly trying to attempt something here. Edgar holding up his teammate Comedy Paul pretty much. These two have been stuck behind each other for a while now. Leclerc sends it onto Das, and Das has gone wide, and that's not good. Rasmussen and Leclerc battling. Rasmussen not making a move yet. Hauger though, without a front wing. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh wait, that was from the Keith accident there. Zage with a ballsy down to the inside move. Rounding outside onto Duan. That's not gonna work, Olivier. You've already been through this corner. Bruh. Fittipaldi goes for the weird wide line there. But I mean, at least Olivia didn't do any damage to anyone, so that's something. What happened to Musquare? Oh no. Okay, what happened here? Hyundai Musquare. Kinda dead. What happened to the American driver? Let's see. Start outside of Caldwell. Oh, he just goes off, hits into Caldwell, gets spun right. Jesus Christ. Mick Schaeffer. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna comment on Mick Schaeffer though. Keith just takes his. Okay, that's a bra moment. That is a bra moment from John Keith. Musco is having a bit of a bigger bra moment. Fraga, Rakus and Petikov now all in a train, as Fraga seems to be having a lot of issues. Crawford now lost as Koye has pushed far ahead. Rakus to the outside of Fraga. Petikov tried to follow him on the inside line, sandwiching Fraga, but it didn't work. I don't know what's wrong with Fraga's car, but it's completely dead. Comedy Paul now catches up to these guys. They have to do something, otherwise they'll be out of the contention here. Oh, Comedy Paul tried to go for the outside line, but didn't work. That's Petikov up into fourth and pretty much in clean air to do whatever he wants, as Comedy Paul now is stuck behind Fraga, and he will be stuck in there for quite some time. In the background you could have seen, I believe that was Flynn overtaking Henry J. Brown. Henry J. Brown are dropping a few positions down. Yeah, just calmly in the lead. And the spray, I am still amazed by how big this is. Any going whites here? No. Although Rasmussen is getting a bit impatient here. Goes to the inside of the ART. Who is that? No, that's Vesti. Comedy put to the inside of Fraga. He makes the position. Makes the move, gets the position, should have said that. Rasmussen and Fraga, Rasmussen to the outside, he's gonna go wide. Driver's aquaplaning, oh my god, he flipped from Edgar. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oliver Rasmussen goes wide. Murders one of his right. Oh Jesus, that's so violent. He just sideswipes him. Rasmussen is definitely getting a penalty for that. As there is Mick Schaeffer just now coming into the pit lane. Musqua just now going to have to pit. This is really not looking good for these guys. Rakus has caught up to Petikov. No wait, Petikov caught up to Rakus and overtook him, sorry. Zage, Fittipaldi, Peroni, Rasmussen. Let's see, that's Flynn still battling with Henry J. Brown. This time, though, he's fighting with James Simons. Side by side, Flynn is pushed to the green tarmac there, to the runoff, pretty much. Simons in. Rasmussen has been disqualified from the race. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, that's not good for him. As Henry J. Brown makes some sexy moves here. Loses some time to Shabo Miller now. Stella and Fittipaldi. Seems we have another train building here. Stella around the outside, maybe? Maybe not, I don't know. Vesti on the outside line. This is a huge train. Oh, and look at Peroni. Oh, God, Peroni's off. Oh dear. Alex Peroni, that was dangerous. Aquaplanes off the circuit, too aggressive. Could have ended in a tragedy. As Petikov is now on the chase for Koye. Then we have Leclerc, Rakus down in fifth. That's Doohan into Fraga. Doohan pushed Fraga out of the circuit, and now Fraga spins out, hitting Rasmussen, who's been disqualified, but I cannot remove him from the race. Stella overtakes Fraga, and it's all kicking off here. Doohan and Rakus side by side for fifth, and Doohan just sends it. Zage, after getting her, being the first, I believe, driver to get penalised in MMS, and now in points. So Olivier Zage doing an amazing comeback. Stella now to the outside of Comedy Boy. I don't think that's going to work. Side by side of Fraga for a turn 3. Yep, it didn't work. Fraga now will be on the inside line for Comedy Boy. Stella still has hopes though. Enzo Fittipaldi might make a move on him as well. Let's see, that's Fittipaldi to the inside of Comedy Paw. They get the moves done. And that's a free wide moment. That's Shabo Miller. There's no space for Vesti, I believe that is. Yes, it is Vesti. Stella and Shabo Miller there. Shabo Miller also makes that a, what was that, a triple overtake? Something like that. Puts himself into 11th and is now on the hunt for points. Vesti and Comedy Paul were side by side. He was momentarily side by side of Henry Gerardo. Comedy Paul goes into the back of Vesti. That's not the best thing. That's not the thing you want to do at all. Simons and Henry J. Brown side by side. And still side by side. It's not an easy to complete the move, but Simons has slipstream, closes the move. Cuts off Henry J. Brown. Stella pushes Simons wide though. Ooh, a lot of drivers going wide. That was Das who went off completely. Das went from being in the points to 22nd. Just shows you how easy it is to lose your position in F3. Rakus overtakes Fittipaldi, rather defends from him. Shabo Miller to his outside doesn't actually go off the circuit. Who was that? That was Fraga who nearly did though. Rasmussen chasing down Duan, obviously disqualified though. Leclerc chasing down Crawford, and Petekov has caught up to Collier. So here we go. Another battle for the lead, this time the Red Bull Junior driver fighting the Prema of Collier. Then we have Crawford, Leclerc, Duan and Rasmussen in the pack. Rasmussen, I'm gonna repeat it, disqualified so I don't forget. But interesting situation to say the least. Petekov still chasing now Collier. There's not much. There's not many overtaking spots he can really take to get ahead of him. But there's the hairpin upcoming, so he can in theory send it there and see what happens after that. 1 minute to go in the race. Rasmussen has gotten ahead of both Leclerc and Duan. Zait, Shabo, Miller, Rakus, Vesti, Fraga, Fittipaldi, Comedy Paul, Peroni, Simons, Anderson, Stella, Henry J. Brown, Flynn, Das, Nisbet, Edwards, Edgar and Edwards. Massive fight. Doesn't go to points though. Back to the leading pack. Crawford caught up to Petekov. So I think, safe to say, Koya has free, breathing room to pull away from these two, as now Crawford and Petekov will be in a battle. We have interesting situation on the field. Vesti chasing down Raku's not making a move. Fraga also very close. We have Comedy Ball, Peroni, Fittipaldi. Drivers not making moves into this chicane anymore. I believe they learned from the mistakes of so many incidents here of people getting flipped and all that. The time has ran out. This is the final lap. Crawford on the back of Petekov now, as Rasmussen, who's mind you still disqualified, has caught up. Well, that's gonna be an interesting finish, as Rasmussen also has the fastest lap. What is Rasmussen on today? He's going for Crawford as well. He's not giving up. Like, he's giving it all. Vesti and Zage now, two teammates battling for position. Vesti sends Iru a bit of a touch there. Gives Zage some of her medicine. Yeah, Rasmussen is literally going for a podium position here. Duan, though, is having none of it. And if he succeeds, we can see Jack Duan on the podium. Let's see, not a move. No, he does make a move. He pushes Rasmussen out of the way. Rasmussen out of the circuit. Very wide there. And that is doing round the outside of Crawford, and it is the Australian now up into P3. Great drive. Petekov has caught up to Koya, but I think it's not enough. Not enough time, not enough laps for Petekov to take that position from it, although it's going to be close. But it's going to be Kaio Koya who will win the Spanish Grand Prix and put himself into a very favourable position Petikov doing? And it's Rasmussen who passes Crawford, but he's disqualified. So we have Crawford, then we have Leclerc, Miller, Vesti, Zage, Comaripo and Fraga who will round off the points. I don't think there were any more incidents, yeah, that was a good race. Musquin now just in the land of depression. Same with Mick Schaeffer. Really, really unlucky accidents for both. Nothing else to say here, really. Just unlucky. And Rasmussen keeps his fastest lap, but obviously points will not be awarded as he is disqualified. There's your race winner calculation side by side with Gianluca Petikov. Yep, so this has been the Spanish Grand Prix. Hope you enjoyed it. Next race will be the Canadian Grand Prix at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Thank you for watching. See you next time. And bye bye. Oh, and be sure to be safe on the roads and wear your seatbelt.